Is Trump a racist?
I don't think so. I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing. They couldn't. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump. So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump. He gave them a term loan. Show up with the interest and the principal, one check. But they had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, "This what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement?" I said, "Yeah." And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business.
That in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and his pizzazz, he's a serious person. A year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
And I heard the expression about 14 times, and then he came to me at the end of the session, and he said, "Listen, I want some office space in your building on Wall Street, because the wall on wall will fall." And I said, "It's okay, Jesse, I'll make a good deal with you. I'll get you some space. You'll pay about $40 a foot." And he said, no, I don't want to pay 40. I said, "How about 30? No. It was the cheapest deal I ever made in the history of 40 Wall Street. Is that right? He got it for nothing. He's a very tough negotiator. We know that, right? Nah, he's a terrific guy. We love him, and I'm here for him. And from the very beginning of our republic, African-American heroes poured out their blood, sweat, heart, and soul to protect American freedom and to realize our founding promise that we are all made equal by the hand of Almighty God. The African-American community has made every aspect of our national lives richer, better, and brighter. Other things, and I will tell you, a large percentage of the people, and especially in construction, that are building these great jobs are black and minorities, and I'm very proud of it. We have close to 25%, and I think the number's going up, and they do a great job. There are no better builders than we have in New York, and a big percentage of that is black and minority folks. So I just want to thank everybody in the room for being here.
You have a vice presidential candidate in mind?
Well, I really haven't gotten quite there yet.
It's just
Oprah. I love Oprah. Oprah would always be my first choice.
Oprah.
Oprah, your competitor, right?
Oprah's a competitor.
You know what?
No
I'll tell you, she's really a great woman, though. She is a terrific woman. She's somebody that's very special.
I do want to express thanks to you, Donald Trump, for being with us tonight. We need your building skills, your gusto, your rent package for people on Wall Street who represent diversity. And we thank you for coming tonight. Let's give Donald Trump a big hand.
All right. But I like Donald Trump, you know? Donald Trump stood up for me when they talked bad about me, and people said, "What do you think about this convicted rapist?" Said he was for you. He sponsored, and he said, he accepted my, vouching for it. He accepted that and said, "Mike is my friend," and I respected that.
Mike Tyson was greeted at his door at 1 o'clock in the morning by a woman. He then...
Well, we don't need to go through the case again.
It's ridiculous. The woman was dancing at 8 o'clock, and this guy's in jail for 6 years. I don't understand it. I think it's wrong. I think
but due process of law prevailed. So
I think he had one of the worst defense lawyers I've ever seen. This was the worst defense. I mean, their defense essentially was that anybody that goes out with Mike Tyson knows she's going to be raped, and therefore Mike Tyson... This is his defense. I think it was a horrible job they did in defending
everything you say may be true.
I can't listen. A lot of my people from my community turns against me, turn their back on me for my rape conviction. I don't want to hear that shit.
3 days after his conviction, before his sentencing, Donald Trump held a press conference proposing a deal that Tyson do no jail time.
So, look, you're an African-American successful business person. You're the secretary of HUD. You work for President Trump. Is he racist?
He is not racist at all. You know, the first time I met him, it was before we got into politics, was down at Mar-a-Lago. And he and I were talking, and someone came up to him and said, Mr. Trump, Rod Stewart is here. And he said, yeah, but this is Ben Carson. You know, that's the kind of person he is.
Donald Trump came out to support me for the Manny Pacquiao fight, and I was appreciative for that. A lot of times what we do is we judge people that we really don't know. We judge people that we really don't know.
And you may remember when we were running for president at one of the debates, and I couldn't hear my name announced, so I was standing there. Everybody else gleefully walked past me, but Trump stood right next to me until they straightened it out. You know, that's the kind of person that he is. You know, he lived in New York. Jesse Jackson gave him an award for the incredible things that he had done in the African-American community.
I still ain't heard from the mayor. Incredibly, Donald Trump called me. The President of the United States called me today and talked to me today.
What did he say?
He gave his condolences, and me, I'm not a political guy, so I'm not, but I told him, you know, I didn't know nobody like you. You know, I'm real. I said, nobody like you, but on this camera, I tell you right now, Donald Trump called me.
I have never seen anything that even resembles racism. And look at the policies that have been done, and look at the people who have been helped.
I think that nobody's really hitting it right. The Democrats are too far left. I mean, Bill Bradley, this is seriously left. He's trying to come a little more center, but he's seriously left. The Republicans are too far right. And I don't think anybody's hitting the chord. Not the chord that I want to hear, and not the chord that other people want to hear. And I've seen it. Plus, I think there's a great lack of spirit in this country. What's happened over the last 4 years is disgusting, and I just think there's a tremendous lack of spirit, and I think the spirit has to be brought back.
So I just like him because he keeps his promises. He says we're going to stop, aborting babies is not good, not having jobs for everybody is not good, Americans are dreamers too. All of those things I happen to agree with. Is he a perfect man? There are no perfect men or women. I'm not perfect, but he keeps his promises. His heart is in the right place.
You know, black unemployment at the lowest level ever. Same thing for Hispanics. You look at the fact that he is engaged so much in second chance for people. You know, things that other people talked about, but he has done. You know,
since the '94 crime bill, and surprisingly, it has the support of the infamously tough on crime Trump administration.
The first step, and that's what it is. It's a first step, but it's a very big first step.
Reforms include mandating that inmates be held within 500 miles of their family, giving inmates an official form of ID before they are released, outlawing the shackling of pregnant women in federal prisons, trading days off of prison sentences for participation in training and educational programs, and several other measures.
The freedom of people who are trapped in a broken system, the freedom of people who are trapped in addiction, the freedom of people who are trapped in poverty. Those are the people that your opportunity zones are targeted at, your opioid policy is targeted at, and your criminal justice policy is targeted at. And when you're trying to help people on the bottom, sir, I will work with or against any Democrat, with or against any Republican, because there is nothing more important than freedom. So thank you, sir.
I'm free to hug my family. I'm free to start over. This is the greatest day of my life. My heart is just bursting with gratitude. I want to thank President Donald John Trump.
You know, opportunity zones where people who've made enormous amounts of money have the opportunity to take unrealized capital gains and to plow them into the areas of the country that have traditionally been neglected.
In a few moments, I will sign an executive order launching a new White House opportunity. This is a very big thing that Tim and I and everybody have been working on for a long time. And Revitalization Council. This council will coordinate efforts across the entire federal government to deliver jobs, investment, and growth to the communities that need it the most. With the creation of today's council, the resources of the whole federal government will be leveraged to rebuild low-income and impoverished neighborhoods that have been ignored by Washington in years past. Our goal is to ensure that America's great new prosperity is broadly shared by all of our citizens, where some cities have thrived while others have suffered chronic economic and social hardship. With opportunity zones, we're drawing investment into neglected and underserved communities of America so that all Americans, regardless of zip code, have access to the American dream. They're a big heart of this nation. They do a fantastic job.
Yes, they do.
And I got to know them a little bit, and I said, so we're going to fix that up for you, and we're going to do it. And we did it, I don't know what the length is, but it's very long term.
10 years.
It's 10 years. So for 10 years,
Future Act.
so I don't know where I'm going to be in 10 years. I probably won't be seeing them, but it was I thought it was very unfair. This is historically black colleges and universities, executive order, very important to all of us. This month has been a wonderful opportunity to celebrate African American history and to begin working together to create a better future for African Americans and universities and colleges and everything that is African American. Historically, black colleges and universities are incredibly important institutions woven into the fabric of our history, just about like no other. Church is very important, yes. Right? Yes. And so I just want to congratulate, these are very, very special people surrounding me. You've done an amazing job. It's not easy. Nothing's easy. But you've done an amazing job, and I just want to congratulate you all, and I want to thank you on behalf of our country. And I'm going to sign this. Who's going to get that?
Jack, about your op-ed piece that you wrote about how President Trump's policies are bettering the lives of black Americans. You go even further, saying that Democrats have created an illusion that all Democrats are allies to black people, pointing to Bloomberg's stop and frisk and Clinton and Biden's crime bill in 1994. You also said that many black Americans have been brainwashed to associate Make America Great Again with white supremacy.
It is time for us to stand up against that and to stand together. This is our time. Make America Great Again is for us, too. Yeah. We are Americans first and foremost. We have been in this country since 1619, right. Before any other immigrant group. Yeah. When he says he's going to make America great, I don't get scared because I'm about as American as it gets.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I fall victim. You know, for years and years, I listened to Democratic leaders tell me what I wanted to hear. And I think the problem is in our society today, when we've allowed the liberal media to really paint the picture that you can only be racist if you're a Republican. And it really is sad. If you look at the policies over the history of time, everything from the civil rights movement and Jim Crow laws and even slavery, you dated back that far. Most of these policies were implemented by Democrats, and so now I think people are having an awakening to that. When you talk about Donald Trump and you look at him, why was he the one who had to pass criminal justice reform? Why was he the one who had to take a stand against the 1994 Clinton crime bill? And on and on again. And you see, you go in the neighborhoods. I go into inner city neighborhoods all the time, and you see a policy like opportunity zones and Opportunity Now, where billions of dollars are finally getting put into these black and brown communities. You look at the school system. I work in schools with the National Police Athletic League and all these other organizations. But why is it that the Democrats are against school choice and Republicans are the ones backing it? And so time after time, you have to, at one point, look at the policy and stop focusing on the personality. You talk about Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg was not just a corporate of stop and frisk. That was a policy that he put in place. You talk about President Trump, he may say something you don't like, but his policies are supporting African Americans and the most underserved in America.
And you changed me.
Wow.
You changed me, you touched me, and you made my work go to another level. You inspire me. And every time I go into those prisons and I ask my guys, you know, how many of you have had your sentence reduced and they raised their hand. I know I'm doing God's work, so I thank you for that.
Mr. President, it's an honor. You truly are the best president since Abraham Lincoln.
Thank you.
My name is Mark Little. I'm the chairman of the board of the Center for Urban Renewal and Education, run by Star Parker, and it's an honor to be with each and every one of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Scott Turner, and I serve as the Executive Director for the White House Opportunity and Revitalization Council.
My name is Jared Kushner. I know all of you here, and I just want to thank you all. I tell the president all the time how proud I am of the job he's doing, but I want to tell all of you that I'm very proud of you. You've been great partners of this White House. You've come with ideas, you've come with suggestions, and every time I bring these ideas to the president, he always says, if these are the things that need to get done, let's do it. Let's spare the resource. Let's get it done. And what we've done together is we found pathways to really revitalize a lot of communities, but also revitalize a lot of people and create a lot of opportunity for people who didn't feel before. So I just want to thank all of you for your leadership in your communities and for helping us work to accomplish what we have under this president's leadership.
Thank you, Jared.
You know, it's what's been done. It's not what's been said or how it's been interpreted and hashed over and over in the media.
You never heard anything about Donald Trump being racist until he ran for president and won. Before then, everybody was like, oh, he's on WWE, he on different shows. Everybody, they like Donald Trump. As soon as he ran for president, because people don't like the truth.
You know, I think, you know, we should be having a conversation with the media, and they should be having a conversation themselves, asking themselves, why is it that the press is the only business that has been protected by our Constitution? And the reason is because they were supposed to disseminate objectively to the people of America real information upon which they could make decisions. They were not supposed to try to manipulate people. So, you know, there are the radical element that is taking advantage of the ideological bent of the media, and it's unfair to the people. But as Thomas Jefferson said, the people will come through. The people will be smart enough to figure this out. I hope that's true.
Well,